Account executive Leslie Burnham came to me one day and said, I heard you're the guy to talk to about this. And I said, well, what? She said, well, a friend of mine had a guitar stolen, and it's a pretty special guitar. And she told me what it was, and I knew what she was talking about. It's the Music Rising Katrina Gibson Les Paul. This particular guitar we're talking about is number 6 of 300, which actually came into play later, which is how this guy knew how to get a hold of us.
I moved to San Antonio about a little over 5 months ago from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So I've only been in San Antonio for about 5 months, and that's where we came across the guitar. So it's about 6.5, 7 hours away. My brother and I, over the last couple of months, have been putting together a home studio. He got an offer up and found a drum pad. We decided to go look at the drum pad, and while we were there, saw the guitar. People that were there that were looking at the guitar were talking about taking it apart and painting it. We took a couple of pictures of it. On the back of the headstock it says 6 of 300. I just Googled Gibson Les Paul 6 of 300, and when I Googled that, one of the first, maybe the second or third thing that comes up is the article from Michael Scott.
It was a fundraiser to help musicians, to help people, to raise tons of money for victims of Hurricane Katrina. You know, not just in New Orleans, but along the Gulf Coast. And no two of these are the same. Everyone is unique. They're painted with Mardi Gras colors. You don't see them. They were initially for sale as a fundraiser, and then that's it. It's a special guitar. There's actually wood from downed trees from Katrina, so it is irreplaceable.
The only thing I was worried about at that point, on the way back over there, was making sure I left with that guitar. I was in tears heading back to the car with the guitar, just because I knew the fact that any of this was happening, the fact that the guitar was even found again, the fact that, you know, I had zero doubt when I got the guitar that the only thing that could possibly happen is it be returned to them.
So I'm at home, and Stephanie Christ calls me and says, you need to get on our Facebook messages now. Someone says they have the guitar. And immediately, my jaw hits the floor, because this doesn't happen, right? You don't get these things back. He sends me pictures, I take a look at them, and I'm like, man, this is it, you're right. This is the actual guitar, you got it. And his only concern at that point was, how can I get it back to the owner?
I went through Katrina in Long Beach, Mississippi, which is where Katrina hit. I lost a car and possessions. Lots of people lost so much more. So I didn't lose a lot material-wise, but I went through it. It's an extremely traumatic event. It's obviously more than just book value. That, to me, an amazing feeling to have been through that and then hold that guitar and know that that's where that wood came from.
I was dumbfounded that someone would be that selfless. Yeah, he's a musician. He knows what this guitar is. He knows what it stands for. He knows what it's worth. He could have not said anything and just kept it, but he didn't. He did the right thing. And just as we messaged one another, you get the feeling of just what a good person he is and just how important it was for Stephen and his brother Sam too, to do the right thing.
This piece right here, and on the back, the blonde pieces, this right here and this, that's from trees down in Katrina. Like those pieces, you know, you can't replace those.
When he got the guitar, he wasn't going to get the guitar, he was going to get something else, and it was just sitting there waiting on him. That's really incredible.
I actually recorded an instrumental with it just because I wanted to have something that I'd recorded that had this guitar playing in it.
Stephen and his brother Sam never once did they ask for reimbursement for the money that they spent to get this guitar. Never. They never asked if there was any kind of reward. They didn't care. That wasn't the point. They drove 700 miles to come hand deliver this guitar to the owner.
Who knows how many hands this went through from Lafayette to San Antonio in 4.5 months, 5 months.
These guys knew it's the right thing to do, and it's a feeling you can't really describe. Needless to say, everyone is really happy.